Hey guys, here we are. The technically last Spider-Man movie review for right now until Beyond and Brand New Day come out physically after they release the theaters. But here we go. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. The story yet continues in the Sony animated Spider-Man franchise. That's right. You thought the story was done in the first movie. You thought wrong, cause this movie shows the story still continues, and actually, props for the movie for using a Spider-Man villain that has not been used in much Spider-Man media lately. If you guys watched the 1994 anime series, and if you guys remember, I did a review on that show. There was one episode during season 3 when they showed the Spot, who's, if I can be honest, he's kind of a mediocre Spider-Man villain to me. Because my first impression of him from the 90s cartoon is that he's not really much of a bad guy. Then again, I don't know much about the version in the comics because all the Spider-Man comics I have so far don't really show him much of as a more like a petty thug that just has a power to make portals and whatnot. But here in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, he's technically like one of the main villains in this movie. The other main bad guy is one of our iconic Spider people, Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara himself. I should have mentioned this in the first movie review for N2, but I was just so laughed speechless on how the movie looked and all the artwork and stuff they put into it. Along with this one, the artwork, how they show different dimensions for each spider people is fucking amazing, especially for Gwen's and Hobie Brown's. But we do have some of the returning cast from the first movie reprising their voice, like Gwen's, Miles, Peter B. Parker, technically Noir, Peter Porker, and Penny. Well, Penny's the only one out of the original group that spoke. Also, I love this movie so much because they brought us back, or give us back, fucking Spectacular Spider-Man, and they even show a little respect to Spider-Man Unlimited by putting him in here. This is what I want in Beyond the Spider-Verse. Give us 1994, Unlimited, MTV, and Spectacular interacting with one another. Or have multiple scenes with some part in the movie. That would be fucking legendary. And not only that, bring in MTV and Unlimited's voice actors. Unlimited does not speak at all. Also, if you guys have seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine, if you guys know the guy who plays Jake, the dumbass cop from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I think his name is Andy Suckenberg, I believe. He does an amazing job voicing Ben Riley in this movie. Also, you see Spider-Man India in here. Of course, he's not exactly how he looks in the comic. They decided to do an original design take, and looks pretty good, to be honest. The movie's one time though. Think I think on Disney Plus it's 2 hours, 30 minutes, and maybe 10 seconds. I could be wrong, but the movie really ends on a fucking cliffhanger. Even says to be continued, and then it does the iconic Marvel thing like how the MCU does when it announces a character will return in the next movie. Like at the end, it does say Miles Morales will return in Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is 1 year away, ladies and gentlemen. We are gonna get to see the finale to this storyline, and the fact we had to wait for this fucking long. Now, I will say this though. This movie makes me hate Miguel O'Hara, just the movie version, not like the video games or the comic book version, because I don't understand Miguel's logic of canon events at all. Like, he's basically telling the spider people when a certain thing happens to you, you have to let it happen. I think that's fucking bullshit. Like, he's telling that if you know someone you care about and they're about to die, you're gonna let that happen? Fuck no. I'm with Miles on this. If I was a spider person and someone I knew and care about was in a life-threatening situation, I would risk my own life to save them. I don't care what happens to me. If they're safe, I could die happy knowing that. And Miguel here is just a fucking prick and a jackass. I mean, he's basically assaulting Miles in every way, like trying to prevent him to go back home. This is the crazy part, though. We do see alternate Spider-Man villains from different universes. Hell, the movie starts off in Gwen's universe where she is fighting, basically Vulture from the Renaissance time period. because it looks like he's made out of drawing sketches from Leonardo da Vinci, if that makes sense. But um, the two Spider people I think have respect for Miles in this movie are free is Hobie Brown Spider Punk, because he has Miles' back throughout the entirety of the film. Big fucking guy. Spider-Man India, which is basically Peter Parker from India, because his name almost sounds like Peter Parker. I just can't pronounce it. And then there's a spider hero who is actually a digital avatar. Uh, Spider Day, I think her name is. If not, let me know in the comments if you guys know who I'm talking about. Those three, at the end of the movie, they're with Gwen, Peter B, along with his daughter Mayday. Because Peter B. Parker interacted with Miles, he had the courage to make things work with MJ again, his MJ, and they have a baby girl, Mayday. Here's what I'd like to see in the post-credit scene for Beyond the Spider-Verse. Show that we're in Peter B. Parker's universe, and we see Mayday now as a teenager wearing her iconic Spider-Girl outfit. Someone made a fan-made video of that. I would like that to be official. Also, they even show a nod to the Lego Marvel Universe. And this is the cool part. The Lego Marvel Universe scene for Lego Spider-Man in this movie, it was made by I think, a 12-year-old kid who actually has a YouTube channel who recreated the second official trailer for Across the Spider-Verse, but entirely out of Lego, and it was fucking beautiful. Like, spectacular even. And I'm glad the kid got to work with Sony on this. That is so fucking cool. He must have been having a field day when that happened. Let's see. We also see other Spider-Man variants, like we see Spider T-Rex, Spider-Cat. We also do see Spider-Man 67. I want to mention something about Miguel's design in this movie. It's a bit odd, like he's a bit more muscular compared to the other Spider people. Because this is where I'm going to mention the post-credit scene from Into. When we first see him, he is making the device to travel to different universes, but he looks like a practical Spider-Man frame build, but his comic book costume looks exactly from the comics. Like, he has the skull face logo of the spider in a way. But in this movie, his spider logo, or his logo in general, looks a bit more spider-like. It still has some semblance of a skull, but he's just more... He's actually basically more Batman-ish, if you think about it. We also got Spider-Woman Jessica Drew, who in the movie is pregnant, but they decided to do a race swap on her, make her African-American, and she has a motorcycle. Let's see. But yeah, they basically made the Spot like a real fucking villain that Miles now needs to take seriously, now that he's trying to also kill Miles' dad. But right now, Miles is stuck on the universe where the spider that gave him his powers originally came from. Because Miguel's machine only sends people back from their universes depending on the DNA thing. And when Miles used it to scan himself, he was hoping it would send him back to his Earth, which is 1610. But it only scanned the spider part of his DNA. So it sent him to Earth 42. I'm going to mention this real quick in this review. Let me know in the comments, you guys think if you got bitten from a spider from a different universe, you should not be able to be glitching? Like, you should have some immune ability if you can arrive in that world where you got your powers from? Because I think it's weird that Miles, like, it makes sense for him to glitch in Miguel's universe, Spider-Man India's universe. But I thought it was weird he sometimes glitched in Earth 42 because... Wait, his powers are from that world. Shouldn't he have somewhat immunity a little bit? The craziest cliffhanger in this fucking film is that he's in a world that doesn't have Spider-Man. His uncle's still alive, but his father's dead. And his Earth 42 counterpart is the Plower. And man, it gives me chills because he sounds a bit more Puerto Rican. in his dialogue when he's not wearing the mask, and like Miles look like he has to fight a alternate version of himself. So, how do I rate this movie? Well, like how I give No Way Home 10 out of 10, this fucking movie gets 10 out of 10 as well, because we see every fucking possible Spider-Man variant. And I cannot wait to see more in fucking Beyond the Spider-Verse. This movie is 10 out of 10. If you guys don't like it, well then go fuck yourselves. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to when we get to June 18th of next year. That's when Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out. Let me know in the comments what you guys think.